All right, in lesson 5-6, we were dealing with surface area and starting to explore finding surface area and some features of surface area. So the first thing in part A here we're supposed to do is identify the units you might use when reporting surface area. And I know when surface area, we're just talking about area. And I know when we find area, it's length times width finds the area of squares and rectangles. We've been dealing with that for a long time, and our answers always have to have a little 2 up above them, or squared, we say. So when I look up here, I've got square centimeters. And remember, this isn't an exponent because it's not by a number. It's not like 4 squared or 4 to the second power. This is the label that has a 2, and it stands for square centimeters, we would say. Here would be square inches. Here would be square feet. So what's a common feature of all of these units that have surface area? The common feature is, you can say, the labels are all squared or have a little 2 above them. It's not really above them, but off to the right side there is a label, but a little set up higher. And we know that means squares. So the number of squares that it takes to cover that surface, it could be square feet, square inches, or square centimeters here. But it couldn't be like just centimeters. Remember, that's distance. Inches, that's a distance. That's a length, okay? It's not area. And then 3 we'll get into has to deal with volume, which you've covered in the past a little bit too, which means there's another step there, and volume's finding something that's 3-dimensional and filling it up. So we will get to that a little bit later. Why do these have this feature now for this little 2 there? Okay, why do we have to say they're squared? And what we've learned is we know area. To find the squares and rectangles, we have area is length times width. And those are the dimensions, we call those. And notice how many dimensions to find the area. To get the length times the width, we have 2 dimensions, the length and the width. So that's where we get the 2 from, because there's 1, 2 dimensions. Okay, so there's 2 dimensions that we need to find area. We need the length and the width. So that's why we have a little 2, because that's what I used to find area. I multiply those 2 dimensions together. So make sure you get these written down.